What's going on and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about my top gear that I do not regret buying in the year 2025. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Josh Haynes. I'm a freelance filmmaker and I bring out videos to help you grow as creators. Consider subscribing if you have not already. Now, before we get too far in this video and I talk about the gear that is my favorite and I do not regret purchasing it, I want to give you this disclaimer up front. Do not go out and buy gear if you do not need it. It is one of those things that is very hyped up. I have a lot of gear that's sent to me and I review it and people will message me and say, that's gonna fix my video. 9 out of 10 times, it's not gonna fix your video and it's not gonna make you a better filmmaker. It may make your life easier in some situations. However, it's not gonna fix all your problems. Now, before we go any further in today's video, I do wanna talk about today's sponsor, which is someone I do recommend, and that is Artlist. If you've been around the channel for a while now, you know how much I love Artlist. They really are that one-stop shop for all your video editing needs. They have so many great features, and right now they're doing a holiday promo. For a limited time only, they're offering 40% off the annual AI plans, or get 20% off the Max Pro annual plan, and get 2 extra free months when you use that link in the description below. Why use Artlist? Because they're the best, honestly. One of my favorite new things is in the music tab, you can actually click right here. They've got search with song match. I'm gonna paste the link from Spotify. I'm gonna hit search. It's gonna find some songs that are really close to the one that I want. Download it, add it to my video, boom, I'm ready to move on to the next project. If you guys are wanting to check out Artlist, again, I will have a link in the description below. Use that link, you'll get 2 extra free months when you sign up for an annual plan. Thank you so much, Artlist, for sponsoring this video and other creators just like me. Let's dive into the gear that I do not regret buying in 2025. Starting with number 1, that is the Sony 16mm G lens. I am actually using that right now while I'm filming. I absolutely love a wide angle lens. This lens specifically is very compact, it's very small, and it's giving you that 1.8 aperture consistently. Recently, I've been diving back into vlogging on some other channels I have, and I've gotta say that 16mm wide 1.8 is phenomenal. It pairs really well with my A camera, the FX6, or my B camera, which is the FX3. Both of them work great. If I had to complain about it, it would be I wish it had an 82mm ring size on the front, like a lot of my other lenses, but not the end of the world. I just picked up another ND filter, mostly because I just don't like using step-up rings for ND filters. That's just me personally. Nothing wrong with them. It's just what I don't like. Now I do have the Sony 16-35 2.8 and this 16mm 1.8 blows it out of the water. I do miss at times having that 35 that I can zoom into. However, for stuff like this, the talking head where I want a wide shot or that vlogging, I'm just gonna move a little closer or I'm gonna punch in and post because 9 out of 10 times I'm just exporting the videos out in 1080, so then I will just punch in because I'm filming in 4K. Either way, it's a phenomenal lens. I do not regret buying it. The second piece of gear that I do not regret buying in 2025 is got to be the Sony ECM-M1. Now, this did not come out in 2025 or anytime recently. I actually think it's quite a few years old. However, look at the size of this thing. It is tiny, it works really well. I love that it has got so many options on the back by just changing the scroll wheel. And honestly, the biggest pro for me would be that it has got that hot shoe attachment for Sony. The audio that comes out of this little Sony microphone blows me away every time. The way it cuts it out when I just move to the side of the microphone is absolutely, it's crazy. For how little it is a phenomenal microphone. The microphone has so many customizations on it, and Sony has so many other ones. Me personally, I found that I liked the ECM-M1 the best out of all the other ones because a lot of the time I am vlogging from behind the camera holding it and maybe talking to someone else in front of it, and the fact that it has got one that shoots forward and backwards at the same time but cancels out all the noise on the side is perfect, and it works exactly as what I need for when I'm making videos like that. The third piece of gear that I do not regret buying in 2025 is going to be the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So what I got on specs wise is the iPhone 17 Pro Max in the 512 storage capacity. I do shoot the Apple ProRes log at times. Now this is not going to give me an insane amount of storage. It's honestly going to give me maybe a minute or two shooting it like that on this size of phone, maybe a little more, but half the time I'm just plugging an SSD into it, some kind of SanDisk or something like that that's really fast. I know they do have other gear that is intended to plug into this, and it makes it very small and you don't actually have to have the cord hanging out. But for me personally, I don't mind it if I'm just gonna plug it in real quick. The main thing is making sure it's fast enough and that it's going to work for, you know, shooting in that high of quality. It's an iPhone. We know what we're getting into. It works really well. I absolutely hate the camera control button to the point that I actually shut mine off so it doesn't do anything when I click it. The only thing I liked about it was using it for like the AI image, you know, seeking something like where do you find this shirt or something like that, but it's not that big of a deal. I didn't use it very often, and I hated filming, and all of a sudden I bumped it and then it did something weird. So I do not regret buying this. However, it's Apple, so there's gonna be a million different changes about this 10 years from now, and we'll have 2 next year when we upgrade. So we'll see then. Number 4 on gear I do not regret buying in 2025 is the DJI Mic 3. I have used so many lavalier microphones and I love almost all of them, but I gotta say the DJI Mic 3s have been my absolute favorite. The size, they're tiny. I love that it comes with the magnets so you can just slap it to something on your shirt, as well as it has the clip. So if I'm gonna clip it on, that works really well. I love that it seamlessly connects to DJI products. It's one of those pieces of gear that just works really well. I love that it's got 32-bit float inside, so you can actually bring that audio back, like what I'm using right now with a shotgun microphone on me. If I got crazy loud and I didn't have my audio set correctly, it's gonna blow it out and it's gonna be gone. But with those DJI Mic 3s, I can bring that audio back because it's basically raw audio. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like, I don't want to cuss on here, but they're like, dang, bro, you got that milkshake. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. I love that the case is a little charging case. It's got little wind muffs that come with it. Really no complaints. It has been hands down my favorite lavalier microphone kit. And it's one of those things, again, because I've been doing a lot of vlogging on another channel, I love that it can pair just with my Sony cameras. I have not picked it up, and I should pick it up before the year's over, and I should have added it into this video. So I'm just gonna preemptively go ahead and say that it's probably amazing. DJI does sell a hot shoe adapter that will plug right into the receiver that hooks into the camera, so I don't have to have even a cord running to it. So I love that it works really well between DJI products. It just seamlessly connects to them to the point that you don't need the actual receiver depending on what you're using, as well as it also works with my Sony cameras with the receiver, but they have an option that if I either want to use the cord or I want to use the hot shoe attachment, as well as I can also use it with my iPhone. If I had one complaint on it, it would be that it doesn't actually have a lavalier microphone plug in it. But I understand they have other microphones that fill in that, as well as I have really expensive Sony lavalier microphones that I use for really professional talking heads. Anytime I'm using the DJI Mic 3, I do not care if it is in the shot or not. It just works that well. And moving on to the last one, number 5, on things I did not regret buying in the year 2025, keeping with the trend of DJI, it is the DJI Nano. I've got to say, this camera blew me away from the moment I started playing with it. I love that it can just slap on anywhere. Again, it's magnetic. It works really well. And that little monitor that connects to it so you can see things, as well as you can actually pair it to your phone and use that as a bigger monitor. Again, just seamlessly works. We were talking about the DJI Mic 3s. Again, it just pairs perfectly with it. I don't even need the receiver to be connected to the camera. It just automatically syncs up. I just push a button, boom, boom, and now it's ready to go. I use the hat mount all the time. However, I am very tall, so if I want it to be more like a realistic person's height, I normally just slap it on the neck lanyard and it works really well. But I love that that thing can just go anywhere. Driving shots, overhead shots, random shots, creative shots, this thing has got you covered. I like that the Nano is more of a specialty thing that you can just slap anywhere, as well as if you really wanted to, you could use that with the microphones and that could be your complete setup. It really kind of covers the entire, scale from 1 to 100. And that's hard to find gear that does that. At least for me, it does. It may not do that for you. You need to double check what you're gonna need it for and not just that one shot and then it just sits on your shelf and you never use it again. As well as those microphones, the DJI Mic 3s. To me, they really it just elevated each so well as it also can be used on its own in so many different ways. Again, I want to stress, do not go out and buy a whole bunch of gear thinking it is gonna fix everything. You really need to evaluate what gear you need. The main thing is just do your homework. Don't be built up in the hype. Give it a little bit. I recommend when a new piece of gear comes out, watch all the videos, get hyped on it, and then sit for like 2 to 3 weeks. Let that excitement dwindle down to realistic thinking, and then you can go, do I need that gear or not? 9 out of 10 times, you're not gonna need it. However, this is the gear that I wound up landing on that is on my top 5 things that I do not regret buying in the year of 2025 on gear. I would love to know if you guys picked up some stuff in the year 2025 and what are those pieces of gear that you do not regret buying, or is there gear that you do regret buying? That could be a really long list. Well, that's it for me today. If you guys are wanting to check out any of the gear, I'll have it linked in the description below, as well as I will have art lists linked in the description below as well if you're wanting to check them out. You're amazing. I'm the Iron Giant. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.